What a great show. A lot of stuff going on. You're going to hear about it in the Quick Six show topics coming up. Stanley Cup Playoffs, of course, underway. The CFL Draft goes today. There's some breaking news there. I have with me our good and longtime friend, the Moose, Darren DuPont. How you doing, Moose?
Doing well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see what you're wearing today. I said we don't confer on what we're going to wear, but when we wear the same color, it ends up being a good thing.
It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
For those that are listening at Listen Live, or maybe you're listening to the podcast, wherever the best podcasts are found, he's got a Leafs pullover on today. And clothing for the RP Show host provided by the Alberta Junior Hockey League's Spruce Grove Saints. And I don't know who sang it or what movie it was. The hills are alive with the sound of music. What was that? Somebody help me out with it. Canada's alive with the sound of hockey, okay? And so we're going to get to that in the Quick Six. As a matter of fact, do you hear the announcement?
I'm not sure if they do, but it's pretty loud through here.
Blaring into my ears. Welcome to Grey Eagle today. These are today's jackpots. So bear with me. I don't know where the voice of the Grey Eagle is, Bruce Germain. But anyways, I'll try and fight my way through this opening preamble with her welcoming all the gamblers today, the hopeful gamblers to the show. Reggie Begelton's going to be with us, former Green Bay Packer wide receiver, current Calgary Stampeder. He's coming down here. He's the only guest of the day. The rest of the day is Moose and I. But I just want to say this. We are live on Game Plus TV. If you don't have that, what's wrong with you? Call your cable provider and say, dang it, I want Game Plus TV in the RP Show, okay? Do that. But my phone's blowing up. My point 6B of the Quick Six was junior hockey playoffs. And can I just say this? I got a text this morning from Vancouver Island. And the guy says, hey, it is Estevan at Flin Flon tonight. Estevan needs one more win in Game 6. Let's hope they win it. I said, no. Let's hope they lose. More hockey.
Right.
And he's like, what about Bedard? Is he as good as they say? And I'm like, dude, I'm going to air here in like 10 minutes. But that's that. And then I walk into the casino today. I'm not going to say which security guard it was at the front. But he's all geeked up about the Flames game tonight.
Yeah.
And he goes, they're cocky up there in Edmonton. They got what they deserved. He goes, you watch now when they lose in 5. They got what they deserved. Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it. And people in Calgary, Flames fans, love when the Oilers lose. And Edmonton fans love when Calgary loses. So depending on what happens tonight, you know they're going to be ready to jump.
The hate is palpable. Okay, can you hit the Quick Six show horn, please, Director Jordan? Thank you. First of all, breaking news out of the Canadian Football League before we go any further. Today is the draft. It goes tonight. The Edmonton Elks agreed to trade the number 1 overall pick in tonight's CFL Draft to Montreal, according to TSN's Dave Naylor. His tag team partner, Farhan Lalji, then jumped in the ring, took the tag, and he reports that the Alouettes will send the number 4 pick and the rights to offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell, who's under contract with the Indianapolis Colts, to Edmonton. The deal is awaiting league approval, and maybe that's why I don't have a news release on it from the CFL. So the number 1 pick now is owned by Montreal. Edmonton traded it. Let's move on to what I want to talk about. If you want my CFL draft thoughts, tune in to 900 CHML Hamilton, 6:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. I'll be on with Scott Boo Radley talking CFL draft. Join us then. So, number 1, Philip Deneau. What do you know? Scored late in the third period, and the LA Kings held off the Edmonton Oilers 4-3. In Game 1 of their first-round series. Trevor Moore and Alex Iafallo each scored and had an assist for L.A., and Brendan Lemieux contributed a goal as well. Connor McDavid and Connor Yamamoto replied with a goal and an assist each. Neon Leon rounded out the scoring with a power play tally. Let's just drop anchor on that for a second. Yes, Mike Smith cost them the game. He said it himself after the game, the goalie for the Edmonton Oilers. And some things never change. You people tend to forget. I'm the history guy, right? We got a new producer, so he's not going to hit the bell. Or he might. But go back to Ken Holland saying our goaltending is fine. We feel our goaltending is fine going into the playoffs. And if he's the general manager, you're getting the sense that, is he really the general manager? We're hearing that he didn't want to fire Dave Tippett, but somebody overruled him. Did he maybe want to get another goalie in there, but couldn't? Who's calling the shots there in Edmonton? But it's interesting with Mike Smith saying after the game, that's over and done with. There's no point looking back. Yes, it cost us the game. No, Mike, there is a point in looking back. Life lesson, the older people know it, the youngsters don't, but should. If you don't look back and learn from your mistakes, you are destined to repeat them. Edmonton Oilers 101, and it's led to our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who should start in goal in Game 2 for the Edmonton Oilers? Mikko Koskinen or Mike Smith? We just tweeted it just before the show, so I don't even think we have a sample size. But I do see people weighing in saying it's not Mike Smith's fault. The defense broke down, blah, 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 blah. Listen, you can cover his ass as much as you want. And yeah, I get defensive for goalies, but in this case, I'm not defending Mike Smith. I saw Ryan Rashog say on the post-game analysis on TSN that they want consistency and predictability out of Mike Smith. Hallelujah! Everybody does. He's not giving it. At what point do you move on? But no, Rod, you don't know anything. I hear it all the time. It's lonely out here playing the long game. When you eventually get proven right, it's lonely. Oilers are in trouble. They are.
It's tough because Mike Smith was really good the last, couple of months of the season? Really good.
116 in a row?
Right. And so the decision to stick with the goaltending duo looked really great. And it still can. He wasn't, really bad throughout that game, but he still allowed 4 goals. And that mistake is what everybody's going to look at. So it is a question who's going to start. I'm probably voting for Mike Smith to start Game 2.
Me too.
Actually, I am voting for Mike Smith to start Game 2. I don't think he's going to make this mistake again. But you know what? You want, I compare it to a quarterback, a real gunslinging quarterback who has a big arm and throws deep and and he throws a bad one and it's picked off. You don't want him to shy away from doing what he does. But I think Oiler fans might want Mike Smith to shy away from playing the puck anymore. And he's had some success. He had the OT breakaway pass to McDavid. He can play the puck with the best of them, but not in that moment at that late in the game. That's really tough.
You saw what Kelly Rudy said. Can you just address what Rudy said before we move on?
Yeah, Rudy, he's like, Mike Smith has to address his team now after this game. He's like, you don't have to. A goaltender shouldn't and doesn't have to address his team after giving up a game-winning goal all the time. But in a situation like this, he'd have to address his team in the locker room after this one, and I'm sure he did.
I just did a peek while you were talking, and 100% of respondents on Twitter are saying that Mike Smith should start Game 2 for the Edmonton Oilers, who, by the way, did not earn the right to have their jersey displayed on the RP show set because they lost last night. Now, moving on. Are we ready to move on?
Sure.
Your jacket says we're ready to move on. Jack Campbell made 24 saves to earn the second playoff shutout of his career as the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-0. Leafs up 1-0. Austin Matthews scored twice. Mitch Marner snapped a long postseason goal drought. Had 2 helpers, while Jake Muzzin and David Kampf also scored. The Lightning were never in the game at all. They had a little bit of push at the start of the second period. They actually came back to outshoot the Leafs at that time, but then the Leafs snuffed it out. And I was glad to hear whoever it was, I think Leafs coach Sheldon Keefe, saying that home ice was a huge advantage for them because we were watching the game at the Shark Club, and it was awesome. And it was bedlam in there, it looked like. There was a real palpable lift that the Leafs were getting off their crowd last night. And that's not always the case in every home game or even in that arena, but it was last night. Right?
Yeah.
That's where home ice was a major advantage for Toronto. But I also love John Cooper coming out and saying we gave him a freebie. Pretty hard to evaluate how good they were when we were that bad. Don't think this series is over. And listen, I don't like the Leafs. I don't like their fans. Sorry. So I didn't like what happened last night at all. And I know John Cooper. He's a good guy. He's a former Notre Dame Hound. So I'm still pulling for them. But if the Leafs win, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I mean, you certainly deserve it after all this suffering and baggage that you carry. But I didn't like what happened last night. Tampa's not done.
Of course not. And that was always the narrative coming into this game, right? This game meant more for Toronto. They needed it more, right? You look at the psyche of the organization that if they lose this game, you start doubt creeps in right away. For Tampa, you lose game 1, there's no doubt creeping in. They've lost game 1s before. They know it's a marathon, a long series. They've been there. So they're not worried about one misstep early on in that game. But, it was a really, a really great game. Toronto played a complete
game. It wasn't a great game at all.
Toronto played a complete game.
It's a great game for Toronto.
Yeah, it was a great game for them. But early on, it was great. I mean, early, but it was the 5-minute penalty kill that really changed everything when Tampa didn't score on that. And then there's other things that aren't going to happen. Stamkos isn't going to miss those one-timers with the open net right on the side door, right? They're not going to give up 3 breakaways and 1 breakaway goal every night. So, yeah, it's one game for sure.
Yeah. My mind's racing on all these things. Isn't this great?
I love it so much.
But it wasn't a good game. Stop with the good game stuff. You even said last night, it's too bad or was it Lee?
It was
Our
Lee.
guy Lee said it's too bad this is so one-sided because it's not a game.
Yeah.
This gave Lee more time to be Joe Social Butterfly around there.
Right.
Which is more his
For
thing.
sure. Yeah, it was a good game until, the second period?
Yeah. And then I get my favorite newspaper is the USA Today, and I get the daily email from them. Huge brawl erupts in Toronto-Tampa game. Was it that huge? Wasn't that huge.
For today's NHL.
Yes, for today's NHL, you'd think they'd be locking him up and throwing the key away. Kyle Clifford going to get suspended today? Or does he have a hearing?
I don't know if he does or not. I haven't heard if he's having a hearing. Yeah, I don't think he'll get suspended. Originally, I didn't think the hit was that bad. You showed me the replay from a different angle on your phone, and then I'm like, okay, that is from behind. He deserved the 5 minutes. But supplemental discipline is for when it's not handled correctly on the ice. I think it was handled correctly on the ice. I think 5 minutes was the right call, and I think it's done.
Start spreading the news that the RP show is live on Game Plus TV right now. Tell your friends that we got some big talk going on today, and Reggie Begelton coming down a little later on. John Massey, Oiler fan, writes that he says, "What about the part where you predicted Oilers in 6?" He's an Oiler fan and he's a troll. Don't come at me because your team crapped the bed in Game 1. Don't come at me. But they don't understand. It's classic deflection by Oiler fans. You coming at me? Because Mike Smith blew the game?
Just give me a second.
Stop it. What?
Oilers can still win in 6, I think, if my math is right.
But they're angry and they're upset, and I'm not going to take it personally. You're hurting. Hurting people hurt people.
That's right.
Jason in Red Deer. Sorry, but Liko Loskinen is worse.
Ooh.
Stick with the guy who went 9-0 down the stretch and made one mistake. But it was one big mistake. But yeah, you got to give him a chance. But what if he blows game 2? Then what? Then you're really in a hole.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that we'd spend a lot of time on the Oilers and Leafs. There were other games. Did you know there were other games?
Yeah.
David Perron had a hat trick and an assist to lead the Blues past the Minnesota Wild 4-0 in Game 1 of their first round series. I didn't see that coming. Earlier, Seth Jarvis and Nino Niederreiter, 2 former Portland Winterhawks, scored second-period goals to help the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Boston Bruins 5-1 in their Game 1. I got them stirred up in Winnipeg today. I said I'd like to see more Western Canadian kids on the Winnipeg Jets. And they're going, okay, Don Cherry. I don't see how that's racist or discriminatory.
It's not.
It's not.
But I think, Don always thought that the Leafs should have more Canadian kids on the team.
Hey, I'm not Don Cherry. I'm not trying to be Don Cherry. I was very upset when they didn't take Seth Jarvis, who's a Winnipeg kid in round 1 a couple of years ago, and went with Cole Perfetti, Mum Spaghetti, who's also a tremendous player. But look what Seth Jarvis is doing. I don't like the makeup of the Winnipeg Jets team at all. The Scheifele thing. I have that written actually as my point 3. I'm getting a little out of order here. Do you move Mark Scheifele? Like, I will just say this. You with the attitude displayed by Mark Scheifele Sunday in his postseason comments, I believe when you have Western Canadian players, you minimize the chance of that type of attitude being in your dressing room. There's still kids out here that have that type of attitude. But this is why I said at the trade deadline, blow it up. Because at that time, only you knew what you had in Mark Scheifele. Now the world knows what the Jets have in Mark Scheifele. Do you want Mark Scheifele on your team? He's not a team-first guy, clearly. And that's, I think the question yesterday was, should the Jets bring back Mark Scheifele? And over 70% said no. This is why I also don't have a problem with what he said, because for 30 years in this business, I was a team-first guy and then got a bullet in the head and thrown out with the trash. So now I see where he's coming from. He's a me-first guy, right? I'm not sure that I did it right for 30 years.
Right.
That's with these players now in the NFL that want to trade. They want out. Deebo Samuel, the latest. Although they say they might not move him now. Problems aren't that big. But again, what kind of guy do you want on your team? Do you want Mark Scheifele on your team? The whole NHL now knows that he's a me-first guy. They have scouts for that, and I'm sure everybody knew anyways. But I know I'm jumping all over the place. But that's where they should have blown it up at the deadline, because it'd be a lot harder now. Unless they still think they're that good enough, and a new coach is going to be the magic formula for them.
Well, they are good enough, but also if they move on from some of these pieces just to create a different collection of pieces, they're going to be okay. It's more of a retooling than a rebuild. And one of the,
Really? Reloading.
Yeah, it's more of a reloading because, unless you want to deal all these great assets you have for prospects and draft picks and start again, but you could take Mark Scheifele, trade him for another piece that you could plug and play right away. You could do that with some of your older veteran players that still have a lot of value to cup contending teams. But there was a great viewer comment that came into our socials on that, on the Scheifele thing, and it was to the extent of comparing him to Johnny Gaudreau and the Flames. Not that Gaudreau's not a team guy, but he went through a bad year. All of a sudden you bring in a new coach that can relate to the player and put him in the best position to succeed, and Gaudreau's a 100-point player. Darryl Sutter was that for Johnny Gaudreau. So who are they going to bring in Winnipeg? Could be that for Mark Scheifele, maybe.
Did you see Darryl on the highlights?
No, I didn't.
At Sports Center? Somebody tell me what he said. It was something about cows and chickens.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
Somebody tell me what. It's hard to stay on top of everything right now. There's a lot going on in sports.
I know.
This John Massey, the Oilers fan, he's in Edmonton, a viewer. He says, that was your prediction. Oilers in 6. John, I'm a professional relationship expert. No, not that. How about professional arguer? You're angry today that your team pooped the bed, and you're coming at me because I'm the easy target because I'm on your screen right now. Your anger is misguided, and I'm not going to receive it. Okay?
I'm feeling like the gong after that.
Yeah, if I'm wrong...
Oh, good one, Rod.
...about this series, I don't care at all. Darren in Utah, it's only game 1. The best team will win this series. I see that there's a lot going on here in the comment section, in the chats. I don't know how far I want to go down that road, and just let them chat amongst themselves,
Yeah.
Randy from Winnipeg, it's not the Leafs or Leaf fans, it's the Toronto media that bugs me. This morning they said Matthews and Marner are players of the night. What about Perron or Ranta? But that's what I said yesterday. I posted that. I said, all these TSN analysts are all Ontario guys. Look at who was sitting at the podium today. Jeff O'Neill and Dave Poulin, and he's from Timmins, and then Darren Dreger, who's like an adopted Torontonian.
Right.
I think it's cute that they all want the Leafs to win. I think it's cute. Like, if they win, I won't be upset at all. Oh, we're in the break. Boy, this is going fast, eh? Oh, we're way... It's the first time we'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, and always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
YouTube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Game day in Calgary. That's the place. 8 p.m. tonight. The Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars, game 1 of this Western Conference quarterfinal series. Zach Nelson in Calgary writes in. He says, Rod, I saw Daryl comment about why he hates 8 p.m. games during the playoffs. I don't need to hear what Daryl Sutter has to say about it. I hate 8 p.m. games in the playoffs. I looked at the start time. I'm like, I don't even know if I'll make it to the end of the game tonight. And I'm going to the game.
Right. You'd be asleep in the press box.
Yeah, I was praying yesterday. We're waiting to see if we made the cut to get into the press box for the game, and we got the email. Yes, we'll be. Thank you, Calgary Flames. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, we are live from the Stage Bar, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. After 5 years, Menopause, the musical, is finally returning to Calgary with its hysterical, brilliant comedy. Come see what 17 million plus fans around the world have been laughing, cheering, and raving about for years. May 13th. Menopause, the musical. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.ca. Go check out the Grey Eagle social channels today. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for video and shots of Billy Talent last night.
Right.
They say potentially the greatest show that's ever rocked the event center
really?
over here. That's what they're saying. That's what Sheldon's saying.
I saw Billy Talent and Sum 41 when I was a kid. That's what I grew up kind of listening to. It would be a little nostalgic to listen to him last night.
Forgive me for saying I couldn't name you one song Billy Talent sings. There's 2 kinds of music that I like, country and Western. He's not a country guy.
Not at all.
Right? So they do keep asking me at Grey Eagle, do you want to go to these shows? Do you want to go to these shows? And I'm like, you bring in some country greats, I'll be in the front row.
Right.
But
yeah.
Foreigner, Air Supply, Billy Talent, I can't name one song.
Right.
I didn't listen to that.
I know. Beach Boys will be good, though. That's the one that I know you're going to be into.
Safari. Is that Reggie?
Yeah. It is.
Where did our stools go? Reggie, I'm sorry. We had some stools. Reggie Begelton coming in next. Packers alum and Stamps.
There's one on the other side of the curtain. Just bring it on out. Have a seat.
Apologize. We don't have our greeter here today.
I would jump out of here, but that would, yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, I got to say this before we get back into the hockey talk. And I will say clothing for the RP show provided by the Alberta Junior Hockey League Spruce Grove Saints, who are embroiled in the middle of the championship. Game 3 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It is in Spruce Grove tonight. It is taco time, Taco Tuesday. For only $2 each, do you order hard or soft shell tacos, beef or veggie? That's what they want me to say. What I want to say is I saw Taco Time Regina on Instagram asking, how many tacos do you think you could eat? What do you think? What do you think? $2. Today would be the day. What, 7, 8? She says 8. We'll ask Reggie. Like, I'm just thinking at my age and as a guy that preaches and coaches moderation, I'm not sure that's a challenge that I want to take. And yet I do, but I don't. I'm not sure it's smart to do that.
Right. Well, and I know when we go, it's not just tacos, so we want to get a burrito and a taco salad.
But that's not what we did yesterday.
Right.
Beef and cheese burrito, small Mexi fries, and, of course, the Diet Pepsi because it nullifies all the calories you just put into it.
Of course it does.
You could have 8 tacos. It's still only $16.
I know.
Today would be the day. Can you let us know in the comment section how many tacos that you think you could put away? I would say, for me, 6. Reggie's a big guy now. I got his Wikipedia up here. It says you're 6 feet. You're bigger than that. Right on. He says that's right. Wikipedia is finally right about something.
How about that?
And 200. Not after all those tacos, you're not. 208, he says. I'm looking forward to chatting with Reggie. Back to the chat. Stanley Cup Playoffs. I feel like we're covering a lot of ground, and I feel like we're not covering a lot of ground. There are some CFL fans chiming in here. We'll get to that with Reggie, so hang on. I got to go back up. Tonight's games. Let's go to tonight's games. Have we moved on from what happened last night? I will invite you to vote on our poll. Who starts in goal for the Oilers in Game 2, Mike Smith or Mikko Koskinen? For Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, dealerships all across the prairies. Everybody, so far, last I looked, 100% saying you go back with Mike Smith. But if you expect him to change, you're a fool.
Although, one final thought on those games from last night. 2 things that I would watch in the day off is Morgan Riley and Darnell Nurse, the 2 defensemen, because they both had hand issues. Morgan Riley from the fight, he was cut up.
That's why you don't want him to fight.
He was concerned, and Darnell Nurse blocked that shot. I think it was in the 3rd period. So they're worried about his hand as well. He finished the game, but those are 2 things I would watch.
I want to say 2009-10, we were in Brandon with God's team, the Regina Pats, and we were getting our ass kicked as usual. It was like 7-1, 8-1, and Jordan Eberle got in a fight. And I think it was with Braden McNabb. Or did he play in Brandon? No, he played in Kootenay. Some big tree of a defenseman, and Eberle decides he's going to fight him. And after the game, I said, why would you do that? And he says, I want to say that I got in a fight in my career. I said, okay, but you didn't win, not even close. Don't ever do that again. Jim in New Jersey's watching, and he says if they start Smith in Game 2, he has to be on a short leash. Can't go down 0-2. Even the Kings' 3rd goal from Lemieux was soft. Jim goes on to say that Kyle Clifford has a hearing for his hit last night. So we'll wait. If the news comes down of a suspension, which I don't think there will be, we'll have it right here. Tonight, dun, 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 Pittsburgh at the New York Rangers, Washington at the Florida Panthers, Nashville at Colorado, and then, of course, here in Calgary, it's the Flames home to the Dallas Stars. Nobody here expects the Flames to lose Game 1, but that nobody in Edmonton expected the Oilers to lose Game 1. So it should be a dandy. Any of these games stick out more than the others to you?
I mean, obviously, we're in the market, so the Flames game. I really am intrigued about the New York-Pittsburgh series. I think that's going to be really good. I want to see what playoff Crosby has left in the tank, and Malkin and those guys, and see what they come with. Tristan Jarry, the Florida game. I haven't looked at the start times, to see which games I'm going to be able to watch.
Let's go to the big board
because I want to watch Florida, I want to watch Pittsburgh, and I want to watch Calgary. Those are the three.
Rangers, Pens, 5 p.m.
Okay.
Capitals, Panthers, 5:30. This is Mountain. Predators, Avs, 7:30, and then the late game, Dallas, Calgary.
So I'll probably start and do the stagger.
I'd say we watch here at the Stage Bar.
That's a good idea.
The early game.
Have a butter chicken.
Oh,
watch the game.
The butter chicken at Grey Eagle is to die for. Right?
Very good.
Moving on. We're still in the warm-up here, if you can believe, on Game Plus Television and YouTube Live. Comments are coming in for Reggie Begelton. You're a very popular guy. One from Jack in Vulcan, Alberta. Reggie, the Rocket Begelton, will break the single-season reception record and touchdowns scored in single season. Love his integrity, character, honesty. Reggie's my guy. Love you, brother. That's from Jack. He says he loves you, too. And I feel like we got to get a sponsorship deal with a bagel company with Reggie. Do you have one? No? I'll tell you something. Canmore, I was out there on the weekend, lined up for blocks to get into these bagel places. I think it was the Rocky Mountain Bagel Company or something.
Yeah.
In Florida, there's a million bagel companies. Flackowitz's Bagel, Einstein Brothers Bagel. Here, I think it was Rocky Mountain. Let's take you out there. And throw them in a car and go out there. Let's get a deal with a bagel company for Reggie Begelton. It's a perfect fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, coming soon. Yeah. From Phil on YouTube. If the Jets let the player's dad coach the team, perhaps let Mark Scheifele's dad coach the team, because maybe he can focus on improving his game rather than being in those commercials. Spicy.
That's pretty good.
They got a lot of problems in Winnipeg with the hockey team. And as I said, at least you have the Blue Bombers. Right? Focus on that. Woo-saw. Training camp opens in like 13 days. The Toronto Blue Jays are one of the hottest teams in baseball. There's just one problem. The New York Yankees are hotter. Gleyber Torres homered early, then hit a go-ahead single in the ninth as New York won its 10th straight game, beating the Blue Jays 3-2 Monday night. Toronto had two men on in the 7th and 8th with the score tied 2-2, but the Blue Jays were unable to score them. So the Jays, second place in the AL East. My next point was CFL Draft, and for those that missed earlier, breaking news, the draft goes tonight, and the Edmonton Elks have traded the number 1 overall pick to the Montreal Alouettes. This a call all according to TSN, the CFL's unofficial PR firm. The Alouettes are sending to Edmonton the number 4 pick and the rights to offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell, who is currently under contract with the Indianapolis Colts. The draft, the first 2 rounds tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 Eastern on TSN. Point 6, I had NBA. Miami Heat topped the shorthanded Philadelphia 76ers 106-92 in the opener of the Eastern Conference semifinal. The 76ers were without Joel Embiid, who isn't even in Miami, while recovering from an orbital fracture and concussion. By the way, I said to Serena, when are they going to get excited about the Panthers in South Florida? She's like, conference final, round 3, if at all. The Heat are in the playoffs. Panthers are a rumor.
Right.
And I guess we covered the junior playoffs off the start, so I think we're good, other than to say there's no games in the dub tonight. They're still spreading this out.
No, but, it was cool to see what the Vancouver Giants did for our viewers on the West Coast, beating Everett. That was really cool. And the reward for knocking off Everett, who is the top team in the Western Hockey League.
You got to play the Kamloops Blazers,
who are a top team in the country.
Taking care of business.
Yeah.
But I guess on the junior hockey stuff, because they're all watching tonight, Game 3 of the AJ Final, Brooks at Spruce Grove. MJ Final, Steinbach at Dauphin. That series is tied 1-1. SJ Final, Estevan at Flin Flon. Bruins up 3-2. So there's a lot going on. Moose, will see you back here into hour 2.
Sounds good.
Reggie Begelton next. Packers alum, current Calgary Stampeder. A lot of football talk after this timeout. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24 hours sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, by the way, we're live from Calgary. We're live from Grey Eagle. Jeff Foxworthy, the largest selling comedy recording artist in history, multiple Grammy Award nominee, and best-selling author of more than 26 books, brings his brand new The Good Old Days tour to Calgary on May 28th. Right here to Grey Eagle. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.ca. We've been talking all hockey for the opening 40 minutes. We're going to switch it over to the National Football League now and the Canadian Football League now. And we welcome in Reggie Begelton of the Calgary Stampeders. Reggie, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. But you threw me for a loop just before we go to air. He had a message from his quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, Bo Levi says he doesn't say hello.
It's still happening, folks. It's still happening. But I have vowed to get Bo Levi Mitchell on this show at some time before we go. Although we're wrapping up our stint this week. We'll be back later on this summer. But Reggie, I just mentioned, I think it's 13 days. Are you counting down in your head? How many days is it to training camp?
It's, today is May 3rd? Yeah. Yep, about 12 days.
About 12 days now. Reggie is from Beaumont, Texas. 6 foot, 208. Played high school at Westbrook in Beaumont. We're going to get through everything with Reggie, his history here. Played at Lamar. Stampeders 27-19, won a Grey Cup in 2018. Green Bay Packers 2020, 2021, and then back here with the Calgary Stampeders in 2021. Grey Cup champion, CFL All-Star, CFL West All-Star. You could retire, and that's a Hall of Fame career, and you're years away from doing that.
I feel like it. I feel good. I feel like I can go for another 10. Do I want to go for another 10? I can beg to differ. My body is going to eventually, say no.
What are you on a scale of 1 to 10 physically? How are you feeling?
Physically, I've been taking care of my body a lot better than I have my younger years. So actually, I do feel better now than I did a few years back.
Isn't that something? Why is it always when the guys are 5, 6, 7 years into their career that they realize that they need to get more serious about their conditioning and stuff?
Well, it goes back into college. The strength coaches, they really don't take the time to educate you on, elasticity, being nimble and everything like that. They just want to see numbers. So we're conditioned to just put up heavy weight and everything like that. So when you're on your own, what do you know? It's all about what do you know. And then later in your career, who you meet and how you educate yourself is how you go about. If you want longevity in your career, you're going to go and do your research. Because why is my body feeling like this? I thought I was doing everything right,
Yeah. You see the wonder in my eyes. Did this dawn on you in Green Bay, or at what point did your eyes come open to it?
I did have a transition in Green Bay because I wasn't getting the answers that I have wanted. But I knew I needed to change. I just didn't know how to get it, because nowadays everything costs money. All answers cost money, and then I didn't have that.
Yep.
So it was really rough.
Yeah. Well, here's this, Reggie. Your family, your friends, the fans. Well, you're in the NFL. You must be a kabillionaire.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way, right?
It does not at all.
No, but, we'll look ahead to the CFL season and stuff, but I got to ask you what it was like being in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and all the drama surrounding the team.
Honestly, it was a cool experience because I got to see, a guy who's at that caliber and he has a lot of heat on his head. How does he handle that pressure and still perform the way he does? And everybody always asks me, like, what is up with his attitude? Why is he the way he is? And I'm like, well, this guy is a winner. He steps in that building and everything he wants to do, every next step he makes is towards trying to win the game, win the Super Bowl at that, not just the game. So his mindset is always winning mentality. So when all the distractions come, it's like deflect. I am focused here. So don't look at his attitude as, he's snotty. No, he's not. He's not. He's just a winner.
Yeah. But the thing is, what you see on TV is different what you see in real life. With
Exactly.
Just about anybody. But I've had friends that have played with him, and as much as he's driven, obviously you don't win a Super Bowl and be league MVP without being driven. They do say he's like the biggest free spirit.
Yeah.
Of anybody that you would ever meat. So what's that side of him like?
Well, honestly, I haven't had the privilege to see that because I was in Green Bay with COVID era. Mm-hmm. And so when we was outside the stadium, we were locked down. I mean, I was in my apartment, and that's all I really could do. Like it was a prison cell for me. That's what it felt like at times, because you couldn't interact. You couldn't have camaraderie with your teammates. You couldn't build that. And then with the business aspect of it, it's already a grimy situation. I'm coming in trying to get a spot. Who wants to make friends with a new guy coming in? So it's tough, but it helps you catapult into life if you use it. But it can also break you down.
Well, and I know you're a huge believer, and I know that you're a man of faith. So the NFL experience could have been better because COVID kind of ruined it for you, in a way.
Perspective.
Yeah. Did that lead to you coming back to the Stampeders, or what made you want to come back to the CFL?
And what made me come back was the fact that I got released.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part one. God closes doors and opens a new one. This is my new door, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take it seriously. I don't care if it is the CFL or it is a notch lower than the NFL. I don't look at it that way. Mm-hmm. I'm here, and I have a mission. I'm here to win games, to win the Grey Cup, and that's what I'm going to do.
We are just getting going with Reggie Begelton, okay? And we'll take your questions from viewers. He's going to stay with us into hour 2, and then the Moose will come back and we'll put a more emphasis on these Stanley Cup playoffs here on night 2. Appreciate you coming down, Reggie. Lots of time to come with him. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network. We're live on YouTube streaming. And, of course, if you missed any of the show, you can always catch the podcast wherever you find the best podcasts, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
RP Show live from Calgary, and by the way, we'll jump into a sports update here. Johnny Gaudreau and the Flames welcome the Dallas Stars to that place. Scotiabank Saddledome tonight in Game 1 of their best-of-7 playoff series. Calgary won the Pacific Division title. Dallas finished 4th in the Central. That's a featured game tonight for us, but also it's Penguins at Rangers, Preds at Avs, and Capitals at Panthers. Blue Jays righty Alek Manoah is going for his 5th win of the season as Toronto hosts the New York Yankees tonight. The 6'6" Manoah is slated to face 6'5" Yankee righty Jameson Taillon. Gleyber Torres hit a 2-run homer and singled home the deciding run as New York edged the Blue Jays 3-2 last night for the Yankees. 10th straight win. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. And for the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Reggie Begelton's with us from the Calgary Stampeders, Packers alum. Our friend Don, a Navy guy, writes in. He says, great attitude, Reggie. Wish other folks were more accommodating towards Canadian domestic professional leagues. John in Winnipeg says, as a player, Reggie, what's the biggest adjustment from NFL to CFL? Field size, number of downs. What's your take on that?
Yeah, field size, but also the speed of the game since the field is smaller down south. But also it's the room for error because there's so much money involved that if you make one mistake, it's that much more, liable to you as a person. So you can't make any mistakes.
That's pressure.
Yeah, pressure. So the pressure.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we were talking about kind of mutual friends here in the break, and John Ryan, whom you have played against, is a good friend of mine. And I often said to him, John, Super Bowl champion with the Seahawks, now a CFL punter. I said, what's the biggest difference in the league? And he said, money and pressure.
Money and pressure.
And that's kind of what you were getting to there, right?
Because it takes the fun out of the game. It really does take the fun out of the game. Here, we're able to let loose and actually go back to playing a kid's game again. Having fun.
That's what everybody says. Yeah, I can see by the smile on your face. Now, and to have fun, one of our viewers has written in and says, I'm surprised Chris Jones is Edmonton's trading away. It's Chris Bird in King City, Ontario. He says, I'm surprised that the Elks are basically trading away all of their draft picks. I'm not. Chris Jones does not put a premium on picks or Canadian talent. He just doesn't. He never has. That's not really overlooking it. But I'm not surprised that Edmonton traded away the number 1 overall pick today. And Reggie, I've been in Calgary almost 3 months now, and obviously everybody's excited about the stamp season, but they're really looking what's going on up Highway 2 in Edmonton, saying, what are they doing up there? Is that going to be your number 1 rival, the Elks?
Always.
Is that more than Saskatchewan?
Yeah, I'd say so, especially Labor Day weekend. It's always fun. It's always fun when those Jets coming by, and then just the intensity, the pressure of the game, it makes it a lot of fun.
Well, I'm hoping to be here at this Labor Day game for the first time in my life for an Elks Stampeders game in Calgary at McMahon. I think last year you guys sold the whole place out, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And Edmonton won.
Well, I don't know about that. I wasn't here.
Oh, I see. Well, when did you join the Stamps? Because you're
the last 2 games of the season.
Because it said you were here in 2021, but you weren't there then.
Not yet.
Okay, so what's it like, McMahon versus Lambeau?
It's Lambeau has a lot of tradition. So does McMahon. So honestly, it's just at the end of the day, when the lights are on and you got that guy in front of you, the game is still the game. Mm-hmm. There's not really much of a difference. It's not. It really isn't.
Well, because you're focused on
you're focused
between the white lines. Are people overlooking the Calgary Stampeders at all in your mind? Or are you seeing any of the buzz, reading any of the hype? Or
I feel like everybody wants the Calgary Stampeders to have a downfall year. So the fact that we struggled at the beginning of the year last year, everybody was like, finally. It took COVID to finally happen because of how it's been a dynasty the last decade, right? So I feel like everybody's curious to see, are we able to bounce back? And I think we are.
Yeah, well, I know these guys pretty well around here. How we get along or not is the subject of another topic, but I've known them for a long time. And what I get the sense of was 2021 was their down year. We finished 3rd. That's a down year for us.
Exactly.
The expectations are pretty high here.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be at a winning program.
Mm-hmm. What do you like about this team?
I like tradition. I love the tradition that we have.
What do you like about this roster right now?
Well, once we finish the draft day and we complete the roster and we see what we got, I won't be able to actually answer that until we get into camp, because I don't know what new guys we have coming in, what holes, what voids have we filled. But I believe and I have faith in our front office. I have faith in Huff, and we're going to be a winning team this year.
When we come back in hour 2, more with Reggie Begelton. It's not every day you get a great like this on the program, so he'll be fielding more of my questions, but more importantly, he'll be taking yours. We'll continue to recap night 1 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs and look ahead to night 2 tonight. Talk a little Blue Jays. Junior hockey playoffs always close by, and the Moose will be back in hour 2. So stick around. We'll be right back after this break here on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
I was at a table with referees. This is like a room full of accountants.
Spicy.
And they asked about Connor Bedard, and they laughed. Remember that night that I yelled in the bubble at Bob? Great call, Bobby! I yelled at the referee because he called a penalty shot in favor of the Regina Pats.
Well, it's an empty arena, so like your voice will just echo and echo and echo. Yeah, they heard you for sure. That was pretty funny.
Good call, Bobby!
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Welcome to Hour 2, everybody, of your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. We're live across Canada, all 10 provinces on Game Plus TV, and in 31 states. I think Wisconsin's one. I know that Texas is for sure that carries Game Plus television down there. And what's great about this program, there are many. One of them is breaking news live in the daytime. And I just got a note coming out of the Game 1 between the Leafs and the Lightning last night. Here is discipline from the National Hockey League. Tampa Bay's Pat Maroon has been fined $2,250, the maximum allowable under the CBA for his actions in Monday night's brawl. Tampa Bay's Corey Perry's been fined $2,500, the maximum allowable. And Wayne Simmons of the Leafs has been fined $2,250 for the melee, which really wasn't much of a melee, but that's today's NHL, and nothing for Kyle Clifford, who picked up 5 and a game in the opening period of that one. Also, there is breaking news out of the CFL. Tonight's the draft at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain. It'll be carried live on TSN the first 2 rounds. The Edmonton Elks have traded the first overall pick to the Montreal Alouettes. That came down this morning. In exchange, the Alouettes are sending the 4th overall pick and the rights to offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell, who's currently with the Indianapolis Colts. So that's broken down. And enough of that. We've got I know you're a very humble guy, but he's a star CFL player. Reggie Begelton is here of the Calgary Stampeders. Man, you look fresh, by the way. How long have you been training, getting ready for this training camp?
The past 6 months.
Yeah. What's your training regimen? What on a daily basis?
I usually I go through phases. So I have phase 1 where I'm working on muscle imbalances. Phase 2 where I get into more cardio, weightlifting. Phase 3 is my where I get into it really, really heavy with field work, weightlifting, everything like that. But honestly, I wake up around 6:30, 7 o'clock, eat my breakfast, my oats and blueberries. Get my banana. I go in, do my weightlifting, and then I go in and eat a sandwich, take a protein shake. I go off and do either speed training or field work. So I'm usually working out in motion of working out from 8 o'clock to about 3:30, 4 o'clock every day. So it becomes a job.
3 seasons with the Calgary Stampeders, and then where you won a Grey Cup in 2018 was a West All-Star. 2 seasons in the National Football League with the Green Bay Packers, and then back here with the Calgary Stampeders at the tail end of last year. And I will get to these viewer questions because they're better than mine, but I've never been to Green Bay. Should I go?
You're not missing anything.
That's what I wanted to know. That's what I wanted to. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, it's a good town. It's a good town. Good, relax. I mean, the only thing is they're about 30 years behind.
Yeah, well, it's on. You'd want to go to a football game if you're going. Other than that, fine.
That's about it.
And the thing with Reggie, you got to go back and listen or watch hour 1 of the show. I'm not going to ask him the same question twice, but he talked about Aaron Rodgers. He talked about playing in the NFL in COVID and how it was unfortunate. You were at the stadium or under lockdown. End of story. That's kind of sucky, but I would assume you want to get back there or no? Or are you just going one day at a time?
One day at a time. If it's in the plans, I would love to go. I would give the opportunity. I would gratefully, go. That's a goal. As a kid, playing football, you dream about playing in the NFL. You dream about taking care of your family. You dream about, your mom not working anymore. Those things on the back of your mind when you go into training every day. I do this for more than just myself. Yes, I want that younger me to be happy, but at the same time I get this opportunity to take care of my family. And that's one of my whys.
So many things are flooding my mind, and before he went on the air, we talked about our mutual friend Willie Jefferson, who's also from Beaumont, Texas, just like Reggie here. And everybody says, and Willie will say, he's the mayor of Beaumont. Is he as big a deal there as Willie would tell you?
He has a big name there. He does. He has a lot of pull there, so I give it to him.
Isn't he great?
He is great. Very good guy.
We have a lot of viewers in Winnipeg, obviously, huge Blue Bomber fans, and you got to like Willie J. One of our viewers, Jeff on the Zone, writes in, he says, who will the Riders draft today? Well, listen, I accurately nailed that they would take Nelson Lacombo, number 2 overall last year out of the U of S Huskies, and they did. Unfortunately, Nelson popped his Achilles in a pre-camp workout and never played a game. But I'm not following this close. The insiders say they will be taking 6'7" offensive lineman Noah Zur from the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. But we'll be following it tonight. But I'll be getting ready to go to Game 1 of the Flames and the Stars at the Saddledome tonight, following virtually. Okay, to the viewers, as I promised. Jason in Red Deer. And that's another reason why this show is so great. It's interactive. The viewers can ask you questions. It's so cool. There's nothing else like it. Jason in Red Deer says there's a lot of grass fields in the NFL, Reggie. Which do you prefer to play on?
On my knees, I prefer the grass. Most definitely, unless it's raining. But for body reasons, for longevity reasons, the grass is more soft on your joints. So I would rather grass, honestly. And the fact that they take care of the grass very good. It's like, it's like cutting on golf grass. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been here long enough. Stamps and most CFL teams only practice on the turf now, right? But they used to have that. Well, they still have that beautiful grass field just south of the stadium. Does it get used for anything anymore?
No, not so
Nothing.
Much.
But there was some great practices out there. Which reminds me, have you watched The Young Rock or The Rock? The Young Rock. Did you watch the episode about him going to play with the Stampeders? They filmed it out on that grass. It looked like. It was awesome. From my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat. She says, can Reggie go out and about in Calgary like a grocery store and not create a mob? What's it like getting around in this town as a Stampede?
Absolutely. It's very chill. For the most part, I try not to be a walking billboard. But I don't mind the interaction. I don't mind, people getting to see the genuine me. Everybody only see a helmet. They only see the football part of me. I want people to see Reggie Begelton.
Now you're getting in my wheelhouse. I want to know how you dealt with the isolation in your dorm room or hotel room in Green Bay. As he had said earlier, it's practice or lockdown in Green Bay. Were you alone? Did you have a roommate?
Yeah, I was alone.
How did you deal with it?
Family, priorities. What goals are you pursuing in the future? You have a lot of time to think. You have a lot of time to get certifications that you've been meaning to work on, or planning, or anything like that. But other than that, I watch a lot of anime. I listen to a lot of music. And once you learn how to be by yourself, and you be a powerful person when you don't need anybody. That's the thing. You don't need anybody. If you love yourself, that's all you need. And that carried me a long way.
A lot of people don't.
Exactly. That's number one. How can you express genuine love to anybody around you when you don't love yourself first?
You can't.
You can't.
Wayne in Victoria, BC, regarding tonight's CFL draft says, quote, I'm not big on drafts anyway. Since you don't usually have a big, impactful player from the CFL draft, you maybe get one in a decade. And maybe I'll go down that road for a second. I'm not big on the CFL draft tonight, but I've never been big on the CFL draft. What gets my juices flowing, Reggie, is the Hall of Fame debate. Being at Super Bowl, as we were this year in LA, and being around Chris Carter, whom I knew from Duran, but all those guys at Super Bowl, that is my thing. To sit and debate who should get in and who shouldn't, drafts are tough. Like, how closely did you follow the NFL draft over the weekend?
I watched round one, but other than that, I was getting ready to come up here, so I didn't.
You just got back?
I just got back 2 nights ago.
Okay.
2 nights ago. So me making my round, saying my goodbyes. Well, actually, my laters. I don't like saying goodbye unless I'm not seeing that person again. So I like to say later. So just making my rounds and and making sure that I'm ready.
Were you in Beaumont, or where were you?
I was in Beaumont. I live in Houston, but I had to go Beaumont and see my people.
What's happening in Houston these days?
Besides the sun being a sauna,
It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot and humid. That's why I said sauna. You're cooking. You're boiling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be headed back to Florida for too long, but I'm actually looking forward to it. But back in time for CFL this summer. And let me ask you something about the Texans. When the last time I was there, which was only 2 years ago, COVID screwed all our time frames up, right? Mm-hmm. But man, are they down on that football team. They talk about it 24/7, 365, but they're down on that team, and I think for good reason. What is the outlook for the Houston Texans this year?
I think they had a good draft. I really do think that. I think the new GM that's in there, he's making a priority to fill in the holes that they need. With their first pick, with the LSU guy, Stingley, is that correct? I think that was a good pick for them. And I see upside. Quarterback-wise, I don't know.
Who they got? T-Mobile still? They got somebody else.
I think it's Mills.
Yeah, so you weren't following it too closely.
No.
When you were down there. One of the viewers, and I'd have to go find it. Here's one. Darren in Salt Lake City, Utah. What is Reggie's thoughts on the U.S. Spring Leagues? How long would a league need to stay in business before players would take it as a serious option ahead of the CFL? And it's a question. That's when I said, why did you come back to Calgary? You say, because I got cut. Well, I thought maybe the USFL might be an option for you.
Well, one thing, especially with my age, being in the Spring League, you go through those games, you're not getting paid a lot, but you're actually playing. And I don't know if they take care of you as good as an established professional team would. And the fact that you're putting your body through all of that, and then if you do get picked up by an NFL team, you're immediately going into camp. Where's the time of recovery? Our bodies aren't made.
No, but some guys will do it.
And some guys will do it. They will.
Yeah.
The younger ones. How I mentioned, with my age, I'm not going to put my body through that. So let's go with something that's more established. I love the CFL. I love it. I love it up here. So
and it's been good, very good to you.
Exactly.
Nelson Hackowich. How do you think moving the hash marks in will change the wide receiver and slot position? You saw that. They've narrowed it by 8 yards. What do you think about that advancement, if it is an advancement?
I think it's going to make the running game better, and I also think it's going to make that boundary corner have to respect the slot receiver a lot more, because he doesn't have the sideline to help him out. So he can't just be, butt to the sideline and just looking in all the time. He has to respect more field.
What will it mean to the field wide receiver, do you think?
He's more relevant as well. Typically they'll put a Canadian guy out there. Guess what? He's going to get more.
He's going to have to play.
Yeah, he's going to have to play. He's going to get a lot more shine. And also, it's going to put a lot of stress on the will linebacker. The weak side, because the hashes are in, he's going to have to quickly recognize
a read,
which side is.
Where's the ball coming?
Which side is the weakest side of the field?
Ted in Red Deer says, does Reggie train alone or with other receivers?
My weight room training, I train alone in the mornings, but when I go off to do my sport-specific training, either speed work or field work, I am with a group of guys. We do develop a lot of relationships. We get each other better because we don't have a lot of free time outside. If you take your job seriously, you don't have a lot of free time. We build relationships and we do a lot of things together.
I'm going to wind this up. We got 2 more minutes, but Jack Fulton says football doesn't define Reggie Begelton. Reggie defines what football is: God, faith, football, championship mindset. Any thoughts on that comment from our guy Jack?
Yep. Mentality matters. Every day you wake up, what are you trying to do? Are you going to let today win, or are you going to win the day?
Ooh, one of my favorite sayings, win the day. And having said all that, I vowed to get Bo on this show by the end of the calendar year. And I don't know if you'll say on the air what you said off the air, but I'm hearing from my Stampeder people that Bo doesn't want this feud to end. because he likes it. And you kind of intimated the same thing.
He may have. It may be a chip. I'm not in Bo's head, but if I was in Bo's situation and I wanted to use some adversity to push me in my career, I might do it too.
Because I doubted Bo, it motivated Bo to make him a champion. You're welcome. How about that? Think he'd buy that one?
He might. He might use it.
Hey, Reggie, this has been awesome, man. I'm pleased to finally meet you. I appreciate that you had come on from Green Bay. And we'll be seeing around McMahon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Reggie Begelton. We got to get him that bagel deal. Are you in on that?
I'm in on it.
Okay.
Bageltown.
Mm-hmm. The Moose will be with us when we come back, and we'll delve back into the Stanley Cup Playoffs, maybe a little Blue Jays, and whatever you people would like to talk about next. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We are on Game Plus Television Network. As always, streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Game day in Calgary. Game 1, Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames goes tonight, 8 p.m. Mountain. Oh, there it is. We have it.
Okay.
Do you have it?
I do.
Okay.
What happened?
I guess it's a me problem. I turned up the speakers in the entire casino.
Yeah. I was going to say, that shouldn't control what you hear. When you do that dial.
How you guys doing? Fine. All right. I'm doing great. Are you kidding me? Opened my eyes today. That's a win. Yes, sir. We got a live studio audience today here at Grady.
Oh, yeah. And they're excited for the game tonight.
I'm excited about everything. Look, I prayed. I said last hour I was praying to make the cut, to get into this press box, and it happened. So thanks, Flames. Thanks. Whoever's responsible, the man upstairs, will be in the press box tonight for the Flames and the Stars. So there's that. I got a recovery hour show to do Wednesday night. Thursday night's game 2. Friday's the Cavalry playing Edmonton, and we're going.
Yeah.
It looks like a nice week of weather, and of course, what happens? You start finding out that, or people start finding out that you're going to these games. All of a sudden, your phone blows up. Well, I'm going to the game Friday.
Right.
I'll see you there. Blah, 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 blah. What did Bob Cole say?
Everything's
happening. There's a lot going on here in the foothills and Grey Eagle, and again, the Billy Talent show was sold out here last night. Go follow all the Grey Eagle social media, and you'll see the photos and the videos. Is somebody yelling at me from down here?
No.
Okay. Let's get serious.
Okay. What does that mean?
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is the best job in the world. I'll get to the viewer comments in a minute. Sports update, because there is a world outside of this, allegedly.
Okay.
The Vancouver Giants have advanced to the next round of the Western Hockey League playoffs. Zach Ostapchuk put away the eventual winner and added 4 assists as the Giants doubled the Everett Silvertips 6-3 Monday night to win the series in 6. Vancouver will face the Kamloops Blazers in round 2. Meanwhile, remember the name, Zach Ostapchuk, okay?
Okay.
He's the WHL Player of the Week. Before last night, the Ottawa Senators prospect recorded 7 points in 3 dub playoff games for the Giants this past week. And Portland Winterhawks goalie Taylor Gauthier has been named the goalie of the week. The Pittsburgh Penguins prospect stopped 57 of 58 shots he faced, posted a 2-0 record and a .50 goals against average, and he came out on the ice to accept a first star award wearing a cowboy hat the other night.
Coolest goalie.
My kind of guy.
Ever?
In a long time. But Clint Malarchuk did that, and I just talked to Clint the other night, the cowboy goalie.
Right.
And I want to say that was in Portland, too. Was that a tribute to Clint? Worlds colliding, Jerry.
Right.
It's a Seinfeld line.
Yeah.
The National Lacrosse League regular season's complete, with Saturday's results completing the expanded playoff format as 8 teams have advanced to the NLL Chase for the Championship, which begins Friday. Buffalo and San Diego are the East and West Conference champions. Buffalo and San Diego. It's a German term. The Western Conference runners-up, Toronto and Calgary. Are you following all this?
Yeah.
You're an NLL broadcaster.
Which is funny for San Diego to be on top of the conference because they just went on a 6-game losing streak. So they were really good very early, and then I think they won on the weekend.
My mind is pinging everywhere.
Yeah.
Just think of game notes. Remind me of game notes, okay, when I come back. In the new NLL postseason format, the top 4 teams in the East, which are Buffalo, actually, as you're looking at it, Buffalo, Toronto, Halifax, Albany, and the top 3 in the West, San Diego, Calgary, Colorado. And 1 wild card team, Philadelphia, have all qualified. Yeah. Got it? Got it. Go to NLL.com. The complete schedule is there. And I've got more, but I'm going to stop.
Game notes.
The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number 1 source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. And today's clothing for the RP Show provided by the Spruce Grove Saints, who host Game 3 of the AJHL Final tonight. So, all of those game notey things. There's not enough time in the day And our business consultant we're working with, Lee Genier, has said to me recently, he's like, man, it's a lot for you to stay on top of, to sit in your chair and be expected to know everything. And I'm like, but that's my job, Lee. That's a job. Say it out loud again.
I know.
I mean, you could watch SportsCenter and just get by, which I do on a few days, or you can delve down an endless rabbit hole. For instance, the fact that Toronto and Tampa have never met in the Stanley Cup playoffs. To me, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Or the fact that, if I saw this correctly, the Game 1 winner in first-round NHL series go on to win the series 68% of the time, which is a real bind for the Oilers.
Yes.
But do you believe in that stat or stats in all? Because most coaches would say they don't.
Well, they don't determine the outcome, but, it definitely helps, and the numbers don't lie, right? Mm-hmm. So you now have a 68% chance of winning the series, everybody who won last night and everybody who wins tonight. Doesn't mean you can't win. 40%, I think anybody in this building would take 40% odds, right? That's very good.
Yeah.
It means you got a real significant chance to win. So, yeah, I buy into it. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I look at for example, the Flames and the Stars. Third time that they've met. Once was the North Stars. Once was Dallas in the Hub. And the Stars have won both series, both in 6 games.
How about that?
So Calgary's never beaten the Stars. So that's kind of something to pay attention to coming into this series. If they can overcome that, if that's a thing.
I'm listening.
And Daryl Sutter and coaches will tell you, that wasn't this team. That wasn't these Flames. It wasn't these Dallas Stars. Even if it was just in 2019.
There's some interesting viewership today and great questions. Dominic D, watching on YouTube, says, what have you guys thought of the CFL Globals so far? Dude, I haven't followed one of them. Zip. Zilch. Jason in Red Deer, have you been checking out any of the shows there, guys? Yeah, I went to, obviously, Bianca Del Rio. It's RuPaul meets Andrew Dice Clay. I had seen her before. I knew what was coming. A lot of people there didn't. It was the raunchiest show you'll ever see. And I was prepared for it. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
But it was like,
shock and awe.
What else did I see?
Oh, we saw your new best friend, Parket.
Peter Parket, the Elvis impersonator. It was amazing, and I was the youngest person in there by 40 years, which made me feel really good. The Elvis impersonator. So, yeah, I saw him. And then there's been other shows that they're just not really my thing. I'm not going to go to a show if I'm not into it.
Yeah.
And I won't name the acts, but I'm just not a rock guy. You get a country. Jeff Foxworthy? I'd stand in line to see Jeff Foxworthy.
I know.
But we're going to be in Estevan that night for the Centennial Cup. We can't be everywhere. Wayne in Victoria, BC. Rod, you look like you're having a ball there in Calgary. I'm enjoying the show, as I usually do. Thank you, Wayne. I wholeheartedly say that I don't want to leave. I had said to Darren several months ago, what if they don't accept us in Calgary? What do we do then? You said we just got to keep going. But they did.
Yeah.
I like it here, and they like me. Who knew?
Which, by the way, with us leaving at the end of the week, it's got me thinking I got to find a way somehow to get another sneak a trip out to the mountains.
I'm always up for that.
So I don't know how we're going to squeeze that in, but it's going to happen at some point.
You just do it.
You just got to.
As John Lynch would say, John Frenzy, you just do it. You just do it.
Yeah.
When I started doing talk radio,
yeah,
I had no idea what I was doing, believe it or not, and many would say that I still don't. But I was doing it on local radio in Regina, Saskatchewan, and I called up John Frenzy, the Don Cherry of football, and he'd been doing talk radio for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I said, John, how do I do this? You just talk. Well, what do you mean? Just turn on the microphone and start talking. I don't know that I can do that. And that's when I really got into realizing the nuances of this particular business, that everybody thinks you can just start up a podcast and be a star. Well, you do it with hockey games all the time. You turn on the mic and just start talking. Yeah, but there's a game to talk about. Right?
I know.
This is entirely different. They're tuning in to hear me, and I better be entertaining, or they're going to switch the channel. right?
That's right.
Or just start a podcast and be a star. Anybody can do it. Sean, watching in BC, Vancouver, BC. Mike Smith. Woo. Does he start game 2? That's our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who should start game 2 for the Oilers, Mike Smith or Mikko Koskinen? And at last I looked, over 100%. There is no such thing. 100% of respondents saying Mike Smith should start. I'm just going to the big board here right now.
I'm going to guess around 68 to 70%.
77%. Paul Coffey, 77% saying Mike Smith should start. Of course, everybody says he should start game 2.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for that, by the way? So you're going to let him work his way out of it, or... It's not entirely rare thinking. Like Marc-Andre Fleury was skidded out of Vegas for a gaffe not dissimilar to what happened to Mike Smith. They got rid of him.
Right.
And that has proved to maybe be a disaster. So maybe getting rid of him... Fleury's also got 3 Stanley Cups. So what's the reason for starting him in your mind?
Because he's been so good. He's been your guy that got you to this spot. Without Mike Smith, the Oilers don't have home ice advantage in the playoffs. He was really good the last 2 months of the season and solidified that spot where the Oiler fans weren't really worried about goaltending. But we knew this was always something that could creep into the equation, right? We knew that a mistake like this was always something that could happen. It's always in the back of your mind. It just happened in game 1. You know, if it's an issue in game 2, I think you go to Mikko Koskinen going back into LA for games 3 and 4. But I thought he was okay. He wasn't great, but he was okay during that game. Oilers had a really good chance to win. And, you know, it's funny, just the way the rosters are structured, it would seem like that whole game. For 2 shifts, the Oilers couldn't do anything but play in LA's zone. LA couldn't get out of their own zone. And then for the next 2 shifts, Edmonton couldn't get out of their own zone. And obviously that coincided with McDavid and Draisaitl on those top 2 lines. Whenever they were on the ice, it seemed like the play was always in LA's zone. Whenever they weren't on the ice, it was always in the Oilers' zone. So, I don't know. We'll see where the series goes.
I'm just loving the analysis. You don't necessarily have to agree with it. I go back to what Ryan Rishaug said, and the guy knows. He's got a pipeline into the Oiler dressing room. Pardon the pun, but it's true. And he said the Oilers want consistency and predictability out of Mike Smith. You want to just know that we can be skating in the next 180 feet, and you got this back 20 covered. But he doesn't. Right? And that's unnerving.
Yeah.
For his teammates and the fans and the coach. Anyways, thank you for the explanation on that. I was saying earlier that I'd like to see more Western Canadian boys on the Winnipeg Jets. And that's got a lot of people talking. And it's not all bad. Gary Moffat, he's watching in Winnipeg on Game Plus. He says, I agree, but kind of count all the Minnesota boys as close to Western Canadian as one can get. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And Hellebuck is one of those, right? Isn't he a Minnesota guy? I'm not advocating to even get rid of him. I just don't really like the makeup of the Winnipeg Jets team, but I bit my tongue when they were winning and they were going deep in the playoffs. It's fine. Who the hell am I? But now they got problems. And what are you going to... Now would be the time maybe to put a few more Western Canadians on the roster. Vern in Winnipeg writes in and says, slippery slope, Rod. This has gotten me in deep doo-doo for advocating for more Canadians drafted. Since 2017, we have drafted only 2 Canadian players in the first 4 rounds. And that's what I don't get. The general manager's from Blaine Lake, Sask.
I know.
Not done yet. Here's one, Ryan in Winnipeg. I'd personally like to ice the best possible team, no matter where they're from. John Paddock is of that mentality. We've talked about it. With God's team, the Regina Pats. I'm not saying I'm right. This is how I feel. Can we have a discussion without people going out to try and end people's careers? You know what I mean? That's what it is now. We can't talk about anything. And my favorite, Clark Stork. You know, Clarky.
Oh, yeah.
He says, Mike Stackhouse, one of our columnists, he says, wants to see more dads coaching. This Pierre-Luc Dubois' dad being on the Jets coaching staff, it just isn't going away. One of them's got to go. because it's made the Jets the laughingstock, and it's not even really their fault.
Yeah.
The guy's a good coach. This kid's a good player. He got acquired in the Line A trade.
Right.
But then when you lose and miss the playoffs, you open yourself up, right?
Of course.
To all kinds of scorn and ridicule.
And it sounds like nobody's going to be back from that Jets coaching staff. They're all going to be gone. Lowry's going to get an interview, but
let's talk about that when we come back.
Good idea.
Not sure I believe that, but Todd B. watching in Red Deer says, another awesome show. Reggie Begelton, an amazing athlete, an even better person. There's no two ways about that. I feel like we're very big in Red Deer, Moose. Maybe we should go do something up there.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, available all across Alberta on Telus Optic TV. British Columbia, too. Also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Game day in Cowtown. Flames and Stars, 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 Eastern. Game 1 of their best-of-7 series. Also tonight, it is the Pittsburgh Penguins at the New York Rangers, Washington Capitals at Florida Panthers. All Game 1s. Nashville at Colorado. Mixing in your viewer comments. Just talking about our residency at Grey Eagle. It's been all added up, close to 3 months. Kent Strachan writes in. He says, it is great to have you guys here in Calgary. Love coming down to see you in person. Come back soon. From Bo Halverson, he says, the Rod Pedersen Show from Grey Eagle Resort and remotely the Moose in the mountains. He's saying you should go to the show from out there.
If I go, that's how I get out to the mountains.
The internet is a little spotty out there.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. I'm getting a kick out of my Alberta friends who are getting a kick out of me. They're like, you really love the mountains, eh? Well, yeah, what's not to love? You don't understand. For all of my youth, the flat that I looked at out my bedroom window, you could see the curvature of the earth, I think. It was flatter than flat. Flatter than piss on a plate. Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah, I have. That's an old one.
It's a good one, though.
It is a good one. Not used very often.
No. From Zach Nelson. Always enjoy your show from Calgary. Oh, by the way, we will be back this summer. That's a guarantee, to use my mom's terminology. Yeah. It's interesting. How much of the interview were you listening to Keon Raymond yesterday?
Yeah.
He said he's from St. Louis.
Right.
And I said, I got a lot of relations down there, but they say it Missouri. And he says, well, not in the city they don't. And I'm like, that's my relations. They're all farmers from Missouri. My mom still has that twang. Randy from the Peg says Lowry's dad's not Dubois' dad. Isn't PLD's dad's on the staff too? Or is he with the Moose?
I think with the Moose.
That's two dads then.
Now you say that. Yeah, he's with the Moose and Dave, obviously, with the big club. So PLD's dad's not going anywhere. I don't think the Moose are doing anything.
A lot of dads coaching the team. That might be the way it's got to go in 2022.
Yeah.
From Phyllis, watching on YouTube, she says, same here. The mountains always call me. And I'm from Manitoba. Love the Rockies. I never get tired of that, but have you noticed you can't really be on the phone winding through there because you're
dropping calls.
Yeah, you're dropping calls.
Yeah.
Ryan H. in the chat. Rod, with the Stanley Cup playoffs being such a long, tough road, is it a disadvantage getting into overtime games? I'm going to say no. But I'm really fast becoming the old fart. And the players are going to say, oh, recovery time and all the rest. Hey, you can't play goalies on back-to-back nights, they think. So I don't know. Unless you're going 4, 5, 6 games into overtime. Has the game changed that much? I broadcast the longest game in Western Hockey League history at that time. It's not the longest anymore, but 4 overtimes. 1996. Went home at 2 a.m. Was back on the bus at 8 a.m. heading to Lethbridge.
Right.
Not a big deal.
Right.
Went on to win games 3 and 4 in a sweep.
Yeah.
And Maxey beat up the referee.
You got to do it. It's part of the game.
It's you do what you have to do. He's clearly talking about expending too much energy in overtime.
Right.
It's just a little more time, in my opinion.
Well, and they all have a day off now, right? I don't think you'll see any back-to-backs for teams in the playoffs. So you're always going to have a day off in between. So I think it's for that reason. So I don't think there's an issue with playing overtime. Obviously, if you're going to play 3, 4 overtime periods and you're going to do that back-to-back games, and that's going to wear you down over the course of a series. And if one team's going through series in 4 and 5 games and you're dragging out 6, 7 game series with overtime, yeah, your guys might be a little more beat up and worn down than the team you face later on. I agree with that.
Sean McCormick. Do you know this guy, this Sean McCormick?
The name sounds familiar.
He writes in the chat, he says, Happy Tuesday, RP team. Love the Game Plus sticker on your ride, Rod. Love the jacket, Moose. Yes, it's on all of my social media today. I parked my Capital GMC Terrain in front of the Saddle Dome. Fun fact, Moose was in the vehicle when I took the photo.
I know. I'm like, I'll just recline my seat.
We have so much fun with this show. Thank you, Sean, for flying the ship there and watching our show. And we just are having so darn much fun out here in Calgary and going to the game tonight. And thanks for noticing. But I've had those signs, Game Plus, on that vehicle for, shortly after we went on Game Plus television.
Yeah.
We're going to break and come back with a Taco Time viewer takeover, and maybe in the next 4 minutes we'll decide if we're going to take the challenge that was issued by Taco Time Regina. How many tacos can you eat? Let's kick that around and talk more about tonight's games when we return. We've discerned that Mike Smith should start Game 2 for the Oilers. That much we know.
Yeah, and I've got some other lineup notes for the games tonight.
You do?
Yes.
And we'll talk a little bit about CFL Draft stuff too, Global Draft. Oh, somebody won a slot machine.
Hey.
All right. You were playing yesterday before the show.
My
You
25-cent blackjack.
win.
No,
Yeah.
I did not.
We'll be right back. You are watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio. Always can be found at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
All right, I love this Stanley Cup playoff theme. Fire it up. Hashtag fire it up. Get it trending, Moose.
I like it.
On Twitter. 8 p.m. tonight. Can somebody tell me what Daryl Sutter said about the 8 p.m. start time? It's not completely unheard of. Shoot, during the pandemic, they were starting 9 o'clock games for the Winnipeg Jets. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't care for it. But.
They're all like that. All those Eastern teams, too. Like, their 5:30 starts out here, but that's 7:30 out there. It's not that big of a difference. I think it's fine. I really do.
We are broadcasting the show from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and to be honest, we do have to sit back a little bit and appreciate and enjoy what's going on here. A couple of years ago, you're like, can you imagine being in an NHL market and broadcasting on game day? And now here we are.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, you said that you had, Bob Smith in Maple Ridge, BC. Rod, I think you meant Lowry's the coach and his son is the player, not Dubois and his son. But Pierre-Luc Dubois' dad is with the Moose. Listen, clearly I was wrong. But same organization, different team. They have a thing with dads coaching within the organization. And you brought up the coaching thing. I saw it. I'm not an idiot. I watch SportsCenter.
Stayed in the Holiday Inn Express
right,
last night.
I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express. Chevy, who incidentally I talked to his brother yesterday. Did you? Talk to Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very proud of his little brother. He's saying we're going to conduct a thorough review, and we've said to Dave Lowry, you've earned the opportunity to be in our search for the next head coach. This is what I'm saying. During the season was not the time to evaluate all this stuff. And it was interesting that he said, Paul Maurice quitting caught us off guard, affected the players in different ways. Chevy is strong like oak, like a rock, like I believe him.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like you threw Maurice under the bus there a little bit. Unless he was just being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Mo quitting really hooped us, and it really screwed up our players' heads. That's the sense I got out of that.
I mean, yeah, it completely changed things for the group. I mean, they weren't going in the right direction.
Yeah, they weren't going great anyways.
They weren't going that well, but it did change things a little bit. And, I'm a big Paul Maurice fan, and I wonder if he resurfaces or decides he wants to come back and coach in the NHL again. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what direction they go. And I don't know if they're, I think they're going to, probably go in a different direction. And Chevy, the coach, they got to get on the same page, decide what type of team that they want, and then start figuring out what to do with this roster. And it'll be, I don't know, I think it'll be a painful offseason, but I think it'll be a turbulent one. I think it'll be a wild offseason in Winnipeg, I do.
Well, sports is sports. It's not much different depending what the sport is. The business is the same, and if you don't have playoffs to cover or a lot of hope, you'd better hope in the media business there's something to attract interest in the offseason, and in Winnipeg, it's that. Twitter, I can see why so many people are going off of it. I made the comment about how I'd like to see more Western Canadian kids on the Jets, and this guy, Ryan, he wants to fight. He says, personally, I'd like to ice the best possible team no matter where they're from, which I think I read earlier. Yeah. I said, different strokes. There's more than one way to feed a cat, Moose.
Good job.
I don't actually think there is more than one way to feed a cat.
Put food in the bowl. The cat eats the food. It's one way.
But the guy comes back and says, no, not really. Just stupid, to be honest. He's calling me stupid now. Icing a lesser team simply because their Western Canadian kids is dumb. And I said, I'm not interested in a fight here. Nowhere did I said take lesser players because they're from Western Canada. You could have taken Seth Jarvis, who's from Winnipeg. Yeah. In the first round, he's no lesser of a player. It could be argued that he's a better player than Cole Perfetti. They're both good. But it's, when I said earlier, if you lose, you open yourself up to this ridicule and scorn, and that might be too strong of a term, but certainly second-guessing. Because You people, I think that's my third today, watching in Winnipeg, know John Paddock because he used to be the head coach of the Jets, and he's from Oak Lake, Manitoba. We sat down and we had a coffee, and I said, what's your position on drafting and signing local players to a junior team? Not important. I want the best players wherever they're from. When they were playing in the league final, there wasn't much I could say.
Right.
When they were making it to the Memorial Cup final, there wasn't much I could say about that. But guess what's going on around the Queen City now? Oh, no local players. Haven't made the playoffs for 3 years. It just goes with
not
the territory.
selling tickets.
And they're not. The rink's empty. On the flip side, I was with the team when we were terrible. We had 5 local kids. At least we had big crowds.
At least there was that, right? But it does help, right? You know, engaging the community. You have to find a way to create that connection. And if it's local kids, great. And if it's not, then you got to find a way to connect them with the fans and make them feel like locals, right? Get them into the schools, get them into the hospitals, get them into the community at different events. But no, there's more than one way to do it, and you can have success multiple ways, but it does help, you know, and either way, whatever you do, you have to have an identity, you know, and for a Western Canadian market to have that Western Canadian identity, I think that would go a long way. I think that could be a good brand.
2 biggest stars in the Flames are Americans, Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk.
Right.
So I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And look at the Oilers. Connor McJesus is an Eastern Canadian. So I go back to what triggered all of this was the Scheifele comments from yesterday. I'm saying if you've got Western Canadian kids in your room, you lessen the chance of having a me-first player like that. But I also knew that when I said this, it might not be the most popular comment in the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I do. How many Taco Time tacos do you think you could scarf down in one sitting?
5.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got to put 5 away, probably.
Are you leaving room for sauce in there?
I like
sauceless.
No, I'm a ranch, right? You know, and ranch is a little bit heavier than hot sauce, so there's room for that.
My mind's blown. So you don't put any hot sauce on?
No hot sauce. I like the enchilada sauce sometimes, but no hot sauce, just ranch with my tacos. You?
Well, you know, you've been there.
6, right?
How many? No, I think 5.
You think 5 too? Yeah.
Because I used to have the 2-for-1 Wiener Wednesdays at the Regina Pats games, God's team, and I had this personal contest with myself to see how many I could eat, and I was like 5. And I don't think that the hot dog and the taco are that much different. Right. It's not about how good it is, it's about how much room you have.
That's it.
Nelson writes in, our VP of Sim Events, regarding drafting. He says that is part of why the Riders draft local in the CFL Draft. People get excited about a Chris Getzlaff, Neil Hughes, or Jason Claremont, who, of course, went to the BC Lions first, but I get your point. Nelson Lacombo last year. They're saying Noah Zur, if I have the name right, this year.
Yep.
CFL Draft goes tonight. I appreciate Nelson writing in and saying that it was more than half of the picks in the global draft were Australian punters. Like, at what point do we have enough punters? We're up to our ass in Australian punters in the CFL.
I know.
Why are we doing this?
Big leg.
We already had one in Josh Bartell. We didn't need
another
a
one.
Draft for
You only need one punter.
I'm just saying it's not so ingenious, Australian punters. There was one years ago. Tomorrow we'll be recapping. Who do we have tomorrow, guys? Do you have it written down? Do you know? Doesn't matter.
We'll tell you tomorrow.
Mark Steven, going to be fantastic. Talking about Stanley Cup playoffs and probably recapping the CFL Draft. See you tomorrow noon Eastern. See you, Moose.
Later.
You screwed up, Clark.